invisibility possible? First, we need to define invisibility. For a start, lots of things are already invisible in some sense. A stealth aircraft or ship is invisible to radar. A sniper hiding under a thermal shielding blanket is invisible to a thermal imaging camera. If we could actually have X-ray vision, people's flesh and blood would be invisible because X-rays pass straight through them. But we would, of course, be able to see everybody's bones. But we all know that what we really mean by invisibility is the type that tops every schoolboy's wish list of superhero powers, being invisible to the naked eye in broad daylight, and therefore in the girls' changing rooms down at the swimming baths. In which case we're dealing with straightforward optical theory. To be invisible, an object must allow light to pass through it without absorbing, reflecting or refracting it, bending it, in any way. A number of things are already invisible. We know they're there, but we can't see them. Air, radio waves, farts, and the Belgian sense of humour. Things like glass and water are almost invisible because they allow light to pass through them, but refract it just enough to reveal their presence. Unless it's the glass door in the department store. The human body will actually allow a certain amount of light through, which is why it's amusing to put a powerful torch next to your cheek and illuminate your mouth in a scary way. But on the whole, humans absorb and reflect light, which is why we can see them as plain as day. But in The Invisible Man, H.G. Wells came up with a scientific premise for true invisibility. He gave his man the same refractive index as air, so he didn't absorb or reflect light, and he bent it to exactly the same degree as the air around him. He disappeared for the same reason that a sheet of glass disappears in water. But his clothes didn't disappear. The Invisible Man had to undress to become invisible. And Wells only came up with a good theory for invisibility, not a method. It may be easier to try an invisibility trick. Victorian showmen knew how to use an array of parabolic mirrors to create an invisibility shield on stage. And a more modern version is to use a flat-screen TV showing the image from a camera pointing directly backwards behind it. So any body or thing that moves into the gap between the screen and the camera disappears. Meanwhile, nanotechnology may be able to produce a three-dimensional cloak from carbon nanotubes, which would steer light around any object, a bit like water flowing around a boulder in a stream. Failing that, we could create a time portal so that the thing we wanted to hide could be moved into the past for a bit. Sadly though, both these ideas are still a bit theoretical. So the short answer is yes, invisibility is technically possible, but don't expect to see it anytime soon. That was my guts making that noise. So ultimately, is invisibility possible? Yes, it is, because I am now going to disappear. But before I do, I would like to suggest that you subscribe to Head Squeeze. It's very simple, doesn't cost you anything, no money will disappear. You simply click on this button here. And now, poof. Assuming you can make me disappear, but